number one thing is broker relationships. I mean, if you just think through it, it's like who's the first person that has access to most of these deals before they hit the market? 9 times out of 10, that's going to be some form of broker or another. So in our world, broker relationships are probably the most important piece to finding deals. I mean, there's plenty of people in here that are real estate agents. It's like when you get a listing, if you know you already have a buyer for it, like that's the first person that you call. Like you're not spending money on pictures, you're not taking it to market, you're not waiting the 2 or 3 weeks it takes to get it up. It's like I've got a buyer for this. I'm going to call them now. I'm going to try and double side that commission, and try and get it sold as quickly as possible. So commercial brokers think the same way. They build up a list of serious buyers that they've worked with in the past or people that have approached them. They've got their own CRM with their notes in it. So your biggest goal when trying to get into this game and look at deals that aren't on the market and aren't competitive yet is trying to get in front of some brokers, build up relationships, and become one of their preferred buyers. You want to get on that list because that's really where the good deals are made. I mean, most of the really good deals never actually hit the market. They're traded kind of offline. And then, we've bought plenty of deals on market as well. So it's important to still, look at these pretty regularly. The LoopNet, Craigslist, Craigslist is probably a little dated, but every once in a while you get a grandpa that still puts stuff out there and can find a deal. I actually think we bought a mobile home park off of Craigslist at one point. So it's definitely not anything to not pay attention to. Facebook Marketplace, believe it or not, is a good place to just see what's out there. Mom and pops still like to kind of put stuff out there like that. But the on-market listings, they are definitely more competitive. I mean, you can look at that from anywhere in the world. You're going to have more competition online. It's going to drive the price up. It's going to drive competition to the listing. But they are also very great for learning and trying to find comps for other properties that you might be evaluating. So definitely, keep this in your repertoire as well. But it is just a little bit more competitive once things hit the market. And then your off-market opportunities. Like this is kind of where, we like to live. We already mentioned brokers, but some other good places to look are property managers. When something's going poorly, which we do a lot of value add, so we kind of like to look for those deals that might be not operating quite as well as they could be. Property managers are a great resource for that. They're going to know like, hey, this owner's struggling to pay his bills, or we've had a ton of vacancy and he's not willing to put any money into the deal, so we feel like he's struggling, things like that. So those are good relationships to have. Bankers are a little bit tougher. They're a lot more guarded when it comes to their clients and giving you information. They get approached all the time. I'm pretty sure every bank has like a special department for properties that are either going into foreclosure or having trouble. But again, it's kind of difficult to get your foot in the door with those guys, but still a good kind of avenue to pursue. Let the bankers know that what you're doing and kind of what you're looking for. Attorneys as well. They got a ton of contacts. Most investors have to use an attorney in order to close on a deal. So they've got a huge kind of list of those types of clients. And then other investors, networking, doing things you're doing tonight, kind of trading properties like that. That's how most stuff gets sold. So, and then, part of that, it's good to know where to look, but the consistent outreach is really kind of where the money's made. There's multiple ways to do that. We like to always say we're not selling, we're networking, because it's not just about the sale, it's about building up that relationship. And that person might not be willing to sell today, but if you've built up a relationship, had coffee, had lunch, had a beer, like a year, 2 years down the road, you're probably going to be the first person that they think of when they are ready to exit. But some of the stuff that we use, direct outreach, we make a lot of phone calls, we send a lot of cold emails. People probably get annoyed with us, but hey, that's part of the game. I'd rather be annoying and then find a smoking deal than kind of stay in my hermit shell. So we do a lot of that. Direct mail, a lot of folks do that. We do less of that these days. But, I know a lot of successful people that are constantly sending mailers out. Just having a local presence. So again, doing what you're doing tonight, networking, letting people know what you look for, what kind of investments you'd like to make. That goes a long way. And then your digital channels, social media, ads, and there's Craigslist again. Um, but the more front facing you are, the more people know that what you're doing. Even Facebook, people that might not be in the real estate world, they see you're constantly looking, for multifamily properties or doing real, even just real estate investment. When they run into somebody at church that says that they've got a problem or they've got a property they're trying to sell, they would probably put your name in the hat. So it goes a long way there as well.